Hi there. I am Danny Gregory, and every Friday I write an essay that I send out. And it's an essay about creative matters, creative things, stuff that happens to creative people. And then on Mondays, I come here on YouTube and I read that essay alive. Alive? Aloud. I read it aloud. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to talk today about what happens if you refuse to be creative. I meet a lot of people who they are creative somehow in their souls, but yet they don't allow themselves to be. And they suppress their creativity, and they put it off. One day they're going to do it. Or, well, they were creative when they were young, but, now they have a real job and they can't do it anymore. So there's a lot of things that get in our way and just don't allow us to do this thing that we really want to do. Or we just kind of push it down. And so, I decided that I would write an essay that was about what happens if you do that. Is there no price to pay for just ignoring this really essential part of you? So I'm going to read you this essay, and then I'll see if I have anything else to say about it afterwards. But as I said, the essay is called "What Happens If You Refuse to Be Creative." We are all hardwired to be creative. It's baked right into who we are. Yes, even you. I speak to so many people who tell me that they make things because they just have to. Paintings, souffles, jewelry, movies, novels, pop songs. They can't help it. It's a basic urge, an irrepressible impulse. They gotta make stuff. But I also meet an awful lot of people who are able to suppress that urge. And instead they trudge back and forth in their rut, never reinventing a single day. They jump to conclusions about themselves and their abilities and their obligations that they think will help them to avoid conflict with the world. They make choices that they think will prevent others from being disappointed or shocked or angry at them. So many people afraid to be creative, afraid of what others might think. But deep inside them, a little ember flickers. That ember is their dream, the thing that they would really like to do if only. If only they had the time, the talent, the education, the tools, the money, the support, the freedom. But because they've decided long ago that they can't, they lock that little spark in a big steel box, hoping to suffocate it once and for all. And then they push on with their chores and their obligations. But the ember won't go out. Instead, it heats up the steel box, and they start to feel that need again. It gets hotter, and because it's locked in a box, the feeling turns to searing pain. So they reach for an anesthetic. Our society is full of anesthetics: drugs, booze, donuts, television, mass culture, social media, destructive behaviors, anger, defensiveness, selfishness. So many ways to take us away from experiencing the here and now, from being in touch with our true nature. Stereotyping people that we meet, threatened and afraid, unable to see the world clearly and fully. We speed through life, wanting to get on to the next thing, unable to take pleasure in the moment. We log life on a checklist, ticking off experiences as if they were chores, overly committed to our views and unable to deal with the unexpected. We seem distracted and spaced out, unable to hear what our family members say to us, always preoccupied with some other place and time. Ironically, our society likes to portray artists as dreamers. Dreamers! But it's those people who suppress their creativity that are actually the ones living in a dream, a nightmare. An artist is someone who sees and feels reality very intensely. Creativity doesn't mean just making things up out of thin air. It means seeing and feeling the world so vividly that you can put together connections and patterns that help to explain reality. It means that you see the beauty in the world rather than trying to hide from it. Scary, isn't it? If you feel the urge to make something, don't stop to think too much about it. Don't overprepare. Don't ask for permission. Don't wait for outside opinions. Don't hesitate. Fling open that steel box and blow on that ember. Give it air and kindling and let it blaze. Your pal Danny. Right, so that is the essay that I just sent out. I sent out on Friday. And I think I'm kind of hitting you a little bit. I'm trying to sort of shake you up a bit. I think that, we all struggle sometimes with what are we really? What is our true nature? And what if our true nature doesn't fit in with what the rest of the world wants? Is it easier to change who we are? And there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions in our society, and people who don't necessarily like the way other people live their lives. And, so what can you do? You can try and change who you are. You can try and hide who you are. You can protest, you can fight. You can try and change the laws. But ultimately, what you have to do is you have to be true to who you are. And you have to figure out a way to take that creative urge that you have and channel it into something. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to quit your job and, move and, leave all your friends. It just means you have to take a little bit of time to let that little ember go in the steel box, So, there's a lot of steps that you can take to ease that tension, that sense of, being a fraud or not being true to yourself and your true nature. So that's why I wrote this essay. If you would like to get this essay or any of the others that I've written, you can do it by going to dannysessays.com. It's free. It's just the stuff that I do, like making this video that I send out, because I have these thoughts in my mind about this stuff that we go through. And I don't know where to turn to for answers, so I look for them in myself. And, so if you get the essays, you'll get it on Friday. And if you don't get the essays, you can come back here on Monday and I'll read it for you. Hi, there's a few new folks that I don't know quite before. Cartoon Mark, Karen Barber, Ika, Janice, Muffle Beauty. Yes. So, I think Muffle Beauty brings up a point. Sometimes the problem of not thinking big of my creativity. I just don't appreciate it. I don't think it's unique enough, and I think there's a lot of things that will make us feel that way, that we say, what I do isn't special, or I've seen other people do the same stuff, or I can't come up with an idea that nobody's had before. That doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter whether your creativity is differentiated in the world. What matters is it's differentiated in your life. It is something that matters to you, that you enjoy, that makes you feel complete, that is burning inside you and needs to get out. There's so many forces inside and outside of you that will judge it before it even has a chance to get born. That will stifle it and say, it's not good enough, or I don't really have any talent, or people won't think this is worth spending money on. All of those things don't matter. What matters is that you actualize your power, that you take this thing that you have inside of you, this ability, and you try it out. Because here's another thing about it, is that when you first try it, maybe it won't be that good. Maybe other people won't be impressed by it. Maybe it won't have any value on the marketplace. But the only way to get to that place, if that's truly your goal, if that's really what matters to you, is to do it, and keep doing it. And we call it practice, but I don't think it's practice. I think it's just making stuff. Keep making. Make every day, and even if what you've made is something you want to throw in the trash can, don't. Throw it in a drawer. Throw it in a box. You may come back to it. You may find that it's a value, that you may find that it has beauty later on. You don't know. You can't judge it today. But it's more important to make bad art than to make no art, particularly if you know deep down that you're a creative person, as we all are. We all can do this stuff. We may not all do it well, but we can do something. And the more we do it, the better we'll get at it. Okay? I'm going to go off and make something now. I hope this is helpful to you. I hope to see you on Danny'sEssays.com. I send stuff out, as I said, every Friday, and I send stuff out other times too, sometimes as well. So I'll see you here, also on YouTube. And if you want to join me on Wednesday, we do the podcast. Thursday, we do Draw With Me. It's nice to see you. Have a happy Monday. I'll talk to you again soon.